Let's start tonight on the news we can use, what's happening in this country when it comes to the cost of living and the economy. And the bottom line is that we're in strife. Things are getting worse, and the federal government has no idea what to do about it. New figures show the number of business closures has hit record highs. Businesses, mainly small businesses that represent the aspirations and hard work of mums and dads and families, well, almost 7,000 of them have fallen over in New South Wales alone in less than a year. And there's been more than 5,000 closures in Victoria, more than 3,000 in Queensland, just over 1,000 in the West, with just under 1,000 in South Australia. Hospitality has been hit hard, with accommodation and food outlets failing, but there have been plenty of closures in construction too. The main problem? Well, you know the answer. Rising costs, insurance up, electricity prices through the roof. And with power prices about to go up again by about 10% in a couple of weeks, the squeeze only gets tighter. With all this going on, the Federal Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, gave a speech at the National Press Club today. And you know what screamed out from his speech the loudest? Well, it was the issues of cost of living and cutting electricity prices.
Under Labor, you'll have a government which cares about cost of living and has plans to deal with it.
We'll get power prices down by $275 a year.
And to ease the pressure that too many Australians are feeling,
By 2025, $275 a year.
Yeah, those promises from the 2022 election campaign, there was nothing about them today. The silence was deafening. The key promises from Labor that they failed to deliver, well, Chalmers was just silent on them. No apologies, no reckoning, no new promises. Just an unbelievable effort to pat himself on the back.
Now, in our first term, we stabilised and strengthened our economy. We got inflation down, we got real wages up, we kept unemployment low, and we improved the budget position. And in important ways, we outperformed our peers. And we should be proud of that, but we shouldn't be satisfied with that.
They should be proud. How smug can you get? Electricity prices went up by 4 times more than they promised to cut them. They didn't fix the cost of living crisis, so they don't even bother to promise any improvements this time around. And incredibly, just 2 months after being re-elected, they're looking for ideas about what to do next.
We've made good progress with more work already underway. But we know that we need to do more, and now is the best time to work out the next steps. That's why the roundtable that I'm convening in August is such a well-timed opportunity.
Yeah, this so-called roundtable with business and unions, of course, plenty of union input. This is where Labor expects to get their economic reform ideas. Talk about a vacuum at the top. And of course, the most obvious and necessary ways to boost our economy and productivity can't be tackled by Labor. They can't lower energy costs because they care more about net zero than they do about electricity bills. And they can't deregulate the labour market because they have to do what the unions tell them to do. So that pretty much leaves only one lever for them to tinker with.
Now, no sensible progress can be made on productivity, resilience or budget sustainability without proper consideration of more tax reform. I don't just accept that, I welcome that.
Yeah, tax. They call it tax reform. You and I might know it as tax increases or new taxes, which is kind of the opposite of reform. For starters, the disgraceful new super tax, the one that actually taxes unrealised gains, that is, the horrible precedent of taxing people on what they might earn, well, Chalmers isn't even prepared to reconsider that one.
First of all, we're not changing the policies we took to the election.
Oh dear, an economy facing record business closures and escalating costs, budgets in deep deficit as far as the eye can see, runaway cost blowouts in welfare and the NDIS while not spending enough on defence, and a government that's out of ideas 2 months in, and it wants new ideas on how to raise more tax. Don't say we didn't warn you.